Hey guys, LevelCap here, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming. We create this show every weekend, so be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to catch the next one. Today's video is sponsored by Polarium, the makers of Raid Shadow Legends, an extremely cool hero collection and turn-based fantasy RPG that really rocks some dark fantasy vibes. Don't be afraid by the loaded UI, it's just there to give you access to the literal billions of options available. From unlocking new heroes in the portal, to upgrading weapons and gear, fighting against bosses with your friends in co-op, or enjoying a fully narrated single-player campaign, there's pretty much limitless content in the game. Also, it's free to play, available on mobile and PC platforms with crossplay, and there's a ton of free items to get. Right now, before January 26, you can link your Amazon Prime account to get a free legendary champion, and not only does she dominate in combat, but I'm pretty sure her clothing has been vacuum sealed onto her body. For agility, of course. Plus, there's a ton more free drops running from now through April for Prime members. To me, this is just a great game to chill and enjoy some classic fantasy RPG combat, plus you never have to worry about running out of things to do. So stop listening to me talk about the game and go click the link in the video description. It's actually a custom link that will grant new players a bonus 100,000 silver and the free champion Hexweaver, who brought her finest lingerie to the battlefield. Don't leave Hexweaver and all that loot waiting. The rewards are only relevant for the next 30 days, so get in there. The most anticipated game of 2020 just got delayed. Cyberpunk 2077 has been pushed from April 16th to September 17th. The 5-month delay was made to finish playtesting, bug fixing, and polishing the game overall. A similar situation happened with their previous title, The Witcher 3, so the delay is unfortunate, but not totally unexpected. What's also unfortunate is that the delay likely means extended crunch time for developers. Crunch time is a widespread issue in the game dev industry. Many companies, both large and small, expect their employees to work extended hours for several days, if not weeks or months on end, leading up to the game's launch. It can often be incredibly stressful for employees and leads to burnout, people quitting, and all sorts of financial issues. There are plenty of stories about devs crunching only to not get paid overtime. There are also stories about devs getting fired or laid off for refusing to work crunch hours. CD Projekt Red says that they're trying to limit crunch as much as possible. They have a pretty nasty history of crunch, and there's even a meme of one of their devs going from a normal-looking person to a disheveled mess because of how stressful making their game is. CD Projekt Red also gave an update on the game's multiplayer and next-gen console versions. Players should not expect multiplayer until 2022 at the earliest. It will launch following a series of DLCs that extend the game's single-player campaign. As for the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, don't expect the game as a launch title. It's likely that Cyberpunk will eventually end up on the new consoles, but they're sticking to their current release on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds test server is currently hosting the 6.1 update. It adds a new map called Karakin. It's a 2x2 kilometer desert island with a unique layout, destructible buildings, an airstrike that destroys buildings, underground bunkers, and more. A lot of the major destinations are on the outskirts of the map, with the center being more barren and open. As the circle closes, you'll typically find yourself located in an open area of the map. Overall, it's a really solid addition to the game. Sanok, the other small map, is a mostly chaotic and poorly paced experience because of how densely packed it is with buildings and foliage. Karakin probably won't be everyone's new favorite map, but for players looking for a more consistently paced experience, it's a strong map with a lot of potential. Currently, it supports 64-player squad matches. A new sticky bomb item is available on Karakin that blows up destructible walls and cover. The motor glider is also available on Erangel and Miramar. Assuming nothing major comes up, we can expect the 6.1 update to launch on live servers in a couple of weeks. So far, 6.1 seems like a pretty decent update, especially if you're looking for a more action-packed experience from PUBG. Rainbow Six Siege is kicking off its first event of the year with the Road to SI. It adds a new map to the game called Stadium. There will be a dedicated playlist for the map that has all operators unlocked. It will only be active from Thursday to Sunday every week until the 6th Invitational on February 16th. It has 35 tiers with a paid and free track. It costs about $10 to buy with Rainbow Six credits. Year 4 pass holders get a 30% discount on the pass. All Battle Pass rewards are cosmetic items. 30% of the revenue generated by sales will actually go to the prize pool for the Rainbow Six Invitational. A new patch on the Siege test server is live with some big tweaks to the game. They added time ranges from 0.05 to 0.25 seconds depending on the weapon. This is being done because a recent overhaul of the animation system sped up ADS times more than intended. Modern Warfare's first season has been extended to February 11th. This gives players an extra 8 days to level up their battle pass. The season is being extended to make room for more content, which includes the upcoming crossbow weapon unlock. Double XP, double weapon XP, and double tier progression days are also continuing to roll out. Double XP is currently available this weekend. As for Season 2, Infinity Ward haven't said anything about when it will start. It could be right after Season 1, or it could be a few weeks later. Overwatch's annual Lunar New Year event has kicked off. It ends February 5th and offers a new mode called CTF Blitz. The flags in this CTF variant are closer together, but teams need 6 captures to win instead of just 3. Weekly challenges return, giving players a chance to unlock specific event skins for Doomfist, Winston, and Wrecking Ball. There's also 4 new legendary skins for Brigitte, Sombra, Moria, and Lucio. The latest trailer for Doom Eternal gave us a deeper look at the game's story and world. 2016's Doom was set mainly on Mars. This time around, you'll be facing the legions of hell on Earth. Eternal is adding several new gameplay mechanics like jump boots, a grappling hook, enhanced melee attack, shoulder-fired launchers, and more. It'll also feature a PvP invasion mode as part of the main campaign. Doom Eternal arrives on March 20th. Horizon Zero Dawn might be making its way to PC later this year. It made a pretty good impression when it launched as a PS4 exclusive in 2017. Unfortunately, it's limited to 30 FPS on base console hardware. While it's certainly a gorgeous looking game, 30 FPS holds it back a bit. A report from Kotaku suggests that the game will launch on Steam and the Epic Game Store sometime this year with PC enhancements. If the report is accurate, this will be the first time a PlayStation exclusive from a Sony-owned studio would make its way to a non-Sony platform. Valve's Index VR headset is currently out of stock around the globe. The company recently announced Half-Life Alyx, a VR single-player game set in the Half-Life universe. The game will serve as a prequel to the events of Half-Life 2. The Index quickly sold out when it initially launched, but since then, things have been quiet. It's the most advanced headset on the market right now, but the lack of a deep catalog of VR titles that can make full use of its hardware gives that $1,000 price tag a bit of a sting. Alyx and the recently released Boneworks are finally starting to show the promise of VR, and it does seem like people are starting to get a little bit more excited about VR in general. Leaks are also suggesting Valve will be releasing Left 4 Dead 3 as a VR exclusive title. HTC's president recently tweeted slides from a presentation he did, and one of them lists Left 4 Dead 3 as an upcoming title. Concept art and other information about the game recently leaked, suggesting it was coming soon, or at least it's in active development. Hunt Showdown finally has a PlayStation 4 release date. The PvE Battle Royale game has been on PC and Xbox for some time now, with PlayStation 4 seemingly hanging in the wind. The PlayStation 4 version will launch on February 18th. Crossplay with Xbox One is currently in the works but won't be available at launch. The game's next update sounds pretty promising. It'll add random trio matches, an advanced tutorial, new legendary hunters, and new equipment and weapons, as well as performance and bug fixes. Following this update, the game will be getting a new map, solo PvE mode, live events, and cosmetic customization. The indie underwater hit Subnautica just broke 5 million units sold. The game was available on Steam Early Access for a couple of years before its retail launch on Steam, Epic, Xbox, and PlayStation 4. With all the platforms combined, it's got a healthy 5.23 million units sold. It was also the first free game on the Epic Game Store, which led to an additional 4.5 million downloads. So the total user base for the game is nearly at 10 million players. Last week, it was reported that Metro Redux had been officially given an age rating on the Nintendo Switch. While nothing had been announced then, it's since been revealed that the collection will launch on Switch February 28th. While nothing had been announced then, it's since been revealed that the collection will launch on the Switch on February 28th. It includes the first 2 Metro games and was developed in-house by 4A Games. The latest game in the franchise, Exodus, is currently available on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. Its removal from Steam and subsequent exclusivity to the Epic Games Store kickstarted a wave of criticism for how Epic Games handles their exclusive titles. While we can only speculate based on earnings calls with the game's publisher, it's likely the last-minute switch caused a downturn in sales on PC. That said, it was still by far the most successful entry in the franchise as of yet. In our final story this week, Microsoft's xCloud Xbox game streaming preview has gone global. Xbox insiders around the world can now access the program on compatible Android devices. It competes with Google's Stadia service while offering more games. Future updates are expected to improve performance and expand the service's library of games. And that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. As always, let us know what you thought of the episode, if there's any cool stories that you thought we might have missed, and give us a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more episodes in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.